Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the big show. It's your buddy Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Welcome to TWB. Great to have you here tonight. Nice to see you all from around the world. I'm glad you could make it tonight. I hope you're doing well out there. Here in Calgary, we are enjoying the hottest day of the year for us. We did hit today 93 degrees. And now, for some of you out there, I know that that is chump change. You guys are used to this or worse. It is what it is. What can I say? Thankfully, we're in an air conditioned apartment building here. We also have a fan here that runs whether, and day or night. So we're always good on that. And so Jen and I are surviving. But the good news for us is, unlike a lot of you out there who have been in a heat wave or the heat dome for days and weeks, first of all, the air is fairly clear around here. Number two, we hit 93 today. It's 91 now. We're going down to 59 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's high, 76. We're kind of liking that. By Friday, the high will be 68, the low 49. Heat wave's over. We had a one-day heat wave, and we've been in the 80s building to this day. We were 87 yesterday and 84 the day before that. Though we've been coming up to this one. We knew a week ago today would be the hottest day of the year to this point. I doubt we're going to be able to break this temperature if we escape the next 10, 12, 14 days. It's unlikely we're going to hit this kind of temperature in August unless something really weird happens. However, in Calgary, you never, ever know. Calgary is one of those cities where we have an expression here. If you are bored with the weather, just wait a half hour. It can change dramatically. And spring and summer, it does go crazy. Or spring and fall, it really changes fast around here. It's nuts. We can go from a nice hot day to a cold day in 12 hours. It can really shift. In any event, we're alive and well. I hope you are alive and well wherever you are watching us from. Thank you, all of you out there who are already hitting the thumbs up button for us again last week. We did it again. We hit 100 thumbs ups last week because of you viewers and you rerun viewers. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you all so much for letting me know what thumbs up number you are, whether it's during the show or on the rerun. If you're watching on the rerun right now, hit the thumbs up button and send me a message and let me know what thumbs up number you are. Because I get these email alerts all week long that tell me on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, it'll say, so-and-so just sent you an email. I was thumbs up number 104. Oh, yes, we did it again. So all of you, thank you for helping us out getting thumbs ups. Great to see you all, and I hope you're doing well. Sharon is in the house. First thing here, Bruce, I was thumbs up number 2. Kevin and I have a question for you. What is your opinion about taking a Panama Canal cruise that just goes halfway through the canal and then turns around? What are your thoughts on those? Well, I note a couple of things about them. Number one, definitely, they're definitely shorter. They're not quite, 15 days long. They're not 16, 18 days. They usually are about an 8 to 12 day kind of cruise. And so for some folks, it's a matter of logistics as far as how much time off can they get, when can they travel, for how long can they travel. There are times where these cruises are better priced. They're just cheaper on a per person basis because you're not on a ship for 16 days. You're on a ship for 10 or 11. That makes a difference too. Sharon is saying here, we were thinking of sailing the Celebrity Beyond in 2025. And we like the idea of being able to fly in and out of Fort Lauderdale and not flying to the West Coast. So obviously they're from Jersey. They would fly south to Fort Lauderdale. Was it 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2.5 hours? Do the cruise and fly back home. Pretty cool. Now, keep in mind, if you can book a flight on something like JetBlue, and I don't know who you're using to get down to Fort Lauderdale, I don't know. But if you can fly one way from LA, let's suppose, to, you might be able to go to Newark on JetBlue nonstop that might not be such a bad flight, although it's a 5 hour, 5.5 hour flight. Okay, fair enough. Maybe it's 5 hours. Dollar wise, yeah, a little more, sure. But look at it this way. If you were going to go to Los Angeles anyway, if it were me and I'm living in New Jersey and I just came off a cruise ship in Los Angeles, what would I not do? What I would not do with Jennifer is head for the airport and fly out of town right now. That's not what I would be doing. I would be making something of the California experience. Now, we all have our favorite things to do and our not so favorite things to do. And LA, for some people, is a turnoff. And it might be that you rent a car and enjoy San Francisco, or you fly to Frisco and spend a few days there, or you take a quick flight from LAX or Orange County, John Wayne Airport, whichever one of these are, to Vegas. And you pop with a 45-minute flight. You do Las Vegas for a couple of days, and then you fly from Vegas to the New York area on another flight. You have a zillion options, of course. And of course, Jen and I'm biased. I love California and I love the desert. And I would think nothing of renting a car and driving to the Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, Indian Wells area, and grabbing a resort hotel for 4 or 5 nights and just chillaxing in the desert for a few days. Now, if you're not a golfer, okay. You're not a tennis player, okay. There is hiking. There is some beautiful sightseeing driving to do. There's lots to do in the desert, but you have to be into it. A million reasons why you do it and a million reasons why you would not. The idea of traversing the canal is, for some people, a bucket list item, and for others, not such a big deal. And so the answer isn't simple, but there are many reasons to do it and not do it. And you've got yours. And so there you have it. Now, whether you're spending time in Florida pre or post cruise anyway, more power to you there. That might be the strategy on your end. And that's another reason to fly in and out of Fort Lauderdale. On the other hand, the ship comes back to Fort Lauderdale and the airport is right there. It's right there. And you can be out of town in a few hours and be home to Jersey that night. Hey, what a great time. Can't fault either decision. You just can't. Shady Hill, Homestead, Bruce, I am number 3 on the thumbs up meter. Ms. M, hey, Bruce and all, nice to be here. Number 4, thank you, Ms. M. Stephen Butler in the house tonight. How you doing there, Stephen? From Northwest Arkansas. The high today, 92. We beat you. It was 93 here. Gas is $3.25 a gallon. Number 2 on the like button. August is going to be hot. May not go far. 1 overnight trip planned. Going to hang on here and hang around. Ken Koreka is in the house. Good evening, Bruce and Jennifer, from Janet and Ken in Saginaw, Michigan. The temperature 78 with a high humidity and an air quality advisory, again, due to smoke. Gas is up to $3.69 a gallon, and we're thumbs up number 7. Welcome, you guys. Wanted to show you something. I'm going to see if I can make this work here. Just bear with me a minute. I think I saw this over here earlier today. Yes, this is a precipitation map for Western Canada and the United States. And I'm just going to let this sort of sink in a little bit, see if I can make this work a little better. Okay. All right. Don't mind that thing over there. Okay. Take a look here. There's San Francisco. You see San Francisco down here? Where's my finger? There's San Francisco. Up the coast, you've got Vancouver. That's Creston, where we used to live. Look at the rain coming in here in the west. Humongous. Let me get a better angle on this. Let me see if I can show you a little better. Here's Canada. Seattle, Vancouver. Let me get my message out of there. There's Seattle and Vancouver down here. Calgary, where I am right now. There's Edmonton. Look at that rain coming in. This just showed up in the last 12 hours. We're showing these forecasted rains. This is huge, especially the northern part here. This is massive for us. This is going to affect you guys in Michigan, in Washington, in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, the east. So much smoke is coming out of here from forest fires. If this can go a couple of days, you guys are going to get a reprieve like all of us. It is a huge deal, and we're crossing our fingers for rain because it's falling in the wrong places this year and not falling in the right places. And where that is going to fall is the right places. So let's hope for the best on that. Nathan in the house, member of the channel. Thank you, my friend, for being a sponsor member, Nathan. Those of you who don't know, if you see a person's name in green type, that means they're a member of the channel, and they make a monthly payment to be a member. They get to join me every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern time for a sponsor member hangout show. And Nathan, I thank you so much for your loyalty to this channel for all the years that you've been a member. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate that you're here again tonight. Mid 80s here in Asheville, he says, gas has gone up, $3.09 a gallon on the cheap end, $3.59 on the high end for regular. How to cruise and travel is here. Good day, Bruce. Robert Malhot is here. Hi there, Robert. How you doing? Hello, everybody. Jeannie Lavinghouse is also in the house with her man Bill from East Tennessee. Hello, Bruce, and all TWBers. Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show. Currently 86, no rain in sight. I don't know if we'll be able to send you any of this rain, but if we can send you clear air, I'm a happy guy. At least Ms. M still $1.90 a liter in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. That is expensive. At $2 a liter, 10 cents more, you're talking $7.40 for a U.S. gallon in Canadian money, which is $5.60 American a gallon. These folks are probably paying $5.30 US a gallon for gasoline, just to give you an idea how expensive that is. Jason is in the house. Jason Gibbons, good evening from a swampy, hot, and sticky Lakeland, Florida. Today's my 49th birthday, and I'm glad to be sharing it live on this channel. Well, congratulations, my friend. I think we have to have a celebration for that. We have to make a special celebration for that. Let's put this on right now. How about that? Not bad. Not bad at all. Congratulations, my friend. That is a fantastic thing. I'm so glad you could spend it with us tonight, Jason. All the best. Many happy returns to you. David C. Perkins, I believe, unlucky number 17. Hello, world. Donnell from Ireland. Hello, Bruce and TW fans. One of my best sponsors is in the house right there. Thumbs up tonight. A full 2 weeks off the booze today. Cheers to you, and cheers. Well done, my friend. 14 days and counting. Proud of you, my man. Hopefully it is beginning to make a difference on the weigh scale, or certain t-shirts are a little looser than before. I'm praying that it's all working in the right direction. I'm sure it is. This is good stuff. David auto-corrected me. I am lucky number 7. Thank you, David. Foxy, hello there, Bruce, my old friend. It's Foxy in Brighton in East Sussex in England, over in Bruce's live stream house, like the old times. Certainly an elated delight seeing you here. Nice to have you back. Welcome. Tim Bowman, greetings from on board the Nordam, one day from Ketchikan, Alaska. It's heavily overcast with rain throughout the day. Please send that inland. Bring that into British Columbia, where the rain, the forests, the forest fires are. This is good news, Tim. I'm sorry it's raining where you are, but boy, we need this stuff badly. Sharon, I don't think I have the bandwidth to do a second vacation after a long cruise. 16 days, 50. That's a long cruise. What do you do on board those ships that makes you so tired, my dear? Sharon, 24 thumbs up, 74 to 76 to go to get 100. Bruce. Alan Carter from Calgary, Alberta, number 25. Alan, how are you, pal? Hope you're doing well. We had a hot one today, didn't we? The hottest day of the year. Tim Bowman, I am number 22 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Tim, sponsor member. Nikki Singleton, sponsor member. Greetings, everybody from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Nikki. Tim Bowman, sponsor member. Our 10-year-old grandson is having a ball on his first cruise. Oh, I'm sure he is. It might not be a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. but nonetheless, you've got him on a All America cruise line. They have staff to look after him too. There's all kinds of stuff to do. This is fantastic. Sharon, hey, anything more than a 5-night cruise tests my personal endurance. Oh my gosh! And you're a runner. Oh my God! I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. There's something happening on that ship. I'm not aware of, but maybe we don't need to know. Foxy 313. I heard you were due to head over to England on the 21st of August this year. Is this true? Are you planning on exploring England and the United Kingdom as a whole by any means or anything like that? We're going to be in London for about I think 6 days, and then we're going to be in Liverpool for 2, and then we take off. We have to go to the continent after that. That is the rough plan. But yes, we are landing in London, and we will then be doing the London Liverpool thing, and then off we go to Deutschland. Rocky, sponsor member, Rocky Grasso. How you doing there, pal? Hi, Bruce and TW sponsors, subscribers, and more. Gas 355 here in Chesapeake, Virginia. Thumbs up number 13. And Nikki, sponsor member, happy birthday, Jason Kimmons, to you from all of us here at TWB. Give us a shout out. Let us know if you're having a birthday or anniversary. We'll pass on the congratulations as best we can. I have news for you today in the cruise world. I was going to tell you something. I was going to talk about one thing in particular. Curtis is here, 98 degrees in Cape Coral, Florida. Altimeter, it's a record, unbelievable, 98 degrees. That is really hot. I was going to talk to you about a lot of detail about a cruise that's coming up that I caught the press release or the write-up on this story. It's on a Norwegian ship. It's a nudist cruise. A nudist cruise is going to be taking place. I believe it is departing. I think it's Tampa. I think it's on the west coast of Florida. And the company that is the group that is hosting and organizing the entire charter, that they've been doing nudist cruises for 30 years. 30 years. So they know what they're doing. And there are rules. There are all kinds of rules. And one of them is like you can't be on the ship in the nude when the ship is at port. No, you can't. You can't wave to people on shore. No. It's a grown-up thing. Okay, it's not a show-off cruise. It's a grown-up thing. If there are shore officials on board the ship, the captain will come on saying you must be clothed. And so there's other rules, but then there were a couple of safety tips, and one of them really caught my attention. And I thought, this is the kind of safety tip that everyone should be adhering to, and it really doesn't have to do necessarily with a nudist cruise. This can be a safety tip for any of you out there who are on a trip. Whether you're traveling to Europe or you're on a business trip for work, you're in your hotel, and it's early in the morning, and you like to kind of get some exercise in before you shower and get ready for breakfast and your long day of whatever you are planning to do with yourself. For those of you who like to do push-ups first thing in the morning, you jump right out of bed. You don't have any on. You don't have underwear on. You don't have anything on. You're just in the raw, as we say. But you hop onto the floor beside the bed, and you want to do some push-ups. If you're a guy, be very careful. They haven't set any mouse traps beside your bed. This is just a safety tip. Certainly for a nudist cruise, you want to be careful not to do push-ups where it is known there are mouse traps that might have shifted in the evening with the cruise. The ship sometimes rocks a little bit. You don't want that to happen. It could be a nasty spring kind of a surprise. I'm just mentioning. Some people might accuse me of quoting Rodney Dangerfield on a joke, but you'd have to know what that's all about to really know. But I'm just saying these are safety tips, and I'm not going to go into any more detail on this news cruise. That's not what I was here for today. Okay, there you go. Foxy says, a happy birthday to Jason. My birthday has already passed. It has happened on the 22nd of June. Congratulations, Foxy. It is most imperative all cruise rules are followed by the passenger, and inhabitants or otherwise whoever breaks the rules will not be allowed to cruise again. Excellent awareness just moments ago there, Bruce. Kevin, happy to be here, number 28 on the thumbs up meter. It's only 90 degrees today. Bermuda is calling to us. Listening to is like thinking about the next vacation. Pete, welcome, Kevin. Pete, hi, Bruce and team. It's a cool 13 Celsius Tuesday morning here in Sydney, Australia, where it is winter. It is winter in Sydney, Australia, 13 Celsius. That translates to about 55 Fahrenheit in the dead of winter, while we're in the dead of summer here, July, in North America. So you can see how harsh the conditions are for our friends in Sydney, Australia, as compared to New York State or Connecticut or Michigan or Minnesota, Canada. You can see how in Australia it's tough times, because you got to put on a windbreaker at the very least to protect yourself against cool temperatures. So, you know, just saying, I was just saying, there you go. I guess, though, if you're going to do, as a male, you're going to do push-ups first thing in the morning in the dark in Sydney, Australia, and, you know, in your home or your hotel or on a cruise ship, and it was 55, you know, for the high, and it was maybe 45 for the low, something tells me a mousetrap might not be a problem. Even if there is a mousetrap while you're doing push-ups, might not be an issue in that cool temperature. But in those hot climates like Tampa and on the Gulf of Mexico, you want to do push-ups in the dark, you know, first thing in the morning, and there's a possibility of a mousetrap. That could be a problem for most guys. I'm just saying, if you've ever watched Seinfeld, you've seen George Costanza talk about shrinkage. I was in the pool. You gotta be mindful of. I'm just saying. These are just safety tips for adults from adults. That's all it is. Nothing personal. Sharon, the Bermuda cruise is our recovery trip from our kid's wedding, which is coming up in 20 days. All right, on. Sharon, good job. Foxy, speaking of push-ups, I seldom do push-ups as they make me out of breath far too easily. Same with running. It makes me out of breath now far too easy, but used to be able to run years ago, says Foxy. Yeah, I don't do push-ups and run up. You may have noticed I'm not all that lean and mean physically. You know, it's not my game plan either. Stephen Butler says, if one wanted to buy Kevin's other books, is it better to order directly through him or online service? I've been meaning to order them for some time. Kevin, that's a question for you, Mr. Chapman. What's the best way for viewers of this channel to order your book titles that works out best for you? Foxy, it's not always a nice effective aging when it comes to the point when you cannot run very far anymore after being able to do it years ago. It's difficult. I agree. Sharon, to quote Elaine Bennis, I don't know how you guys walk around with those things. I don't know how you. I don't know, guys. I don't know how you do it. I have no idea how you guys walk around with those things. I don't know how. I say safety tips are important. All right. Well, let's get to some news about cruising today. All right. Before I lose the rest of you, welcome to the show. Thank you for the thumbs ups. I think we're at 31 already on the thumbs up meter, and I appreciate that very much. And welcome all to the show today. It's great that you're here. Just double checking something over here. Hang on one second. I got to pop over here. And thank you all. Rocky is saying, sponsor member Rocky is saying, excellent, Bruce. You've kept a straight face through all of this. We do appreciate that. Foxy, I hope it's not too much asking you this, Bruce, but aren't you cold without a jumper or cardigan and just your t-shirt? If you didn't mind me asking. It was 93 degrees here today in Calgary. 93. That's like 35 Celsius. I'm not at all chilled in any way, shape, or form in any way of any body part. It's quite warm here today. Although inside this apartment it's quite comfortable, but I got a fan on just over there, and it's all good. We're all fine. All right, let's talk about some cruise news today. The first bit of news is talking about this ship right here. Let me show you a ship that I have talked about with you before, and I'm going to show you another couple images of it. Here it is right here. There is one. Now this picture is a mock-up. This is a computer mock-up of a ship known as the Explora 1. That is an MSC ocean liner. That ship is very similar in size to the Viking ocean liner ships that are out there now. This vessel holds about 950 passengers approximately. It is not a 5,000 passenger cruise ship. There are no inside rooms. There are no ocean view only rooms. All cabins on this ship are balcony cabins. There's suites and their balcony. Okay. This ship right here, another angle. This ship was supposed to be delivered 2 weeks ago from the shipyard, I believe out of Germany, and it got delayed at the last minute. This is a computer mock-up of the pool area, well, one of them anyway, on board the ship. The ship was not delivered on time because of a major problem, and that is the problem of cruise ships catching on fire, which has happened from time to time over the years. This particular cruise ship and 45 other ships that are now plying the oceans with paying passengers. Just to show you, here's an MSC ship that once burned up. There are 45 cruise ships right now that have on board inadequate and decertified fire retardant materials on board the ship. And when a ship catches fire with a passenger flicking a cigarette butt or something like that, or whatever causes it, if there's a fire in the cabin area, the likelihood is that the fire was set by a passenger. Not intentionally, generally speaking, they don't on purpose create fires on cruise ships. When a fire breaks out on the cruise ship, it is usually an accident. Sometimes it's a welder's torch working on a ship, but a lot of the times in the cabin areas, it has to do with a passenger flicking a cigarette from their balcony into the ocean, and the cigarette goes down the ship, and the ship is going this direction, and the cigarette butt is sucked back into the ship, lands on another balcony, 5 rooms down, 2 floors up or down or whatever. You have no idea. The cigarette butt flicker doesn't know. They've just landed cigarette butt on a balcony down the way, and the cigarette butt landed on a chair that happens to have a beach towel on it. And because the balcony has got a breeze going on it, after all, the ship is moving, the cigarette butt is just glowing. It's glowing for that last inch. And what happens is towels catch on fire on board balconies of cruise ships, which are laying on plastic covered loungers on the balcony. And now the plastic lounger catches fire. The heat is intense. And what happens is you have fire catching from the fire, and you have sparks percolating off of the balcony onto other balconies all around this balcony. And now you've got 5 balconies on fire, all in minutes. And the ship is moving along at 25 knots, and the fire is spreading like wildfire, of course. And next thing you know, even though balcony doors are closed, the heat coming off of these 5 balconies are melting the plastic barriers that keep you from falling over. They start to melt, and this just spreads. And the next thing you know is the heat is so high that fires ignite inside the cabin because of the radiant heat. Passengers aren't in the cabins. They're at the casino. They're having dinner. They're watching a show. They're at the pool. Who knows where they are? And these fires are catching inside cabins. and alarms are going off, and sprinkler systems are going, and it's mayhem with 3,000 to 5,000 passengers plus 2,000 crew. It is complete mayhem. Nobody knows where to go. Nobody knows what to do because no one paid attention during the muster drill what was going on. In any event, coming back to this ship right here, to bring it to full circle, the Explora #1 was delivered the other day to MSC from the shipbuilding yard, even though estimates were that it would take 6 months to rip out all of the defective fire retardant panels installed on this ship on every deck level, every cabin, all crew quarters down under, the kitchens, the laundry facilities, everywhere. The fire retardant material was expected to take 6 months to remove and then to at least reinstall. And this was all done in 2 weeks. And no one goes on record right now to talk about it. No one is going on record to talk about the fact that this cruise ship had a major safety issue problem. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, the ship is good to go. And it's been delivered to MSC. They've only had to cancel a couple of cruises. And now they're going to put innocent victims, passengers, on this ship. And that means there are 46 cruise ships now on the open seas with paying passengers that are on cruise ships with fire retardant equipment that has been decertified as safe. The company that produced this product is a wholly owned subsidiary of Owens Corning, a company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. This company has recalled all of its fire retardant panels globally because they sell these not just to cruise ships, they sell them to all kinds of people. Buildings, hotels, office towers, shopping malls, houses, you know. This is a multi-million dollar problem, if not tens of millions or more. And cruise lines have shut the hell up about it. They won't say a damn thing about it. I'm going to quote an article here that was written up by Jim Walker. Jim Walker, if you don't know, has been a guest on this show. He's a lawyer, a marine lawyer, who looks after victims' rights when cruise lines screw up. He has a website called Cruise Law News. If you ever get the chance to check it out, get your butt over there and check out cruiselawnews.com. He constantly updates stories on what's going on out there. He quoted something, and I'm going to read from his article today. This was either yesterday, day before yesterday. He just put this out. Now, a publication called the Financial Times out of London, England, they first reported on this story I'm telling you about now. And Jim has been quoting them. I've been quoting them, and now I'm quoting Jim. Financial Times, which first broke the story, provided the most straightforward information in a follow-up article, July 21, 3 days ago, 2023, when it reported that the shipbuilder stated that it allegedly replaced the products. The company's called Paroc, P-A-R-O-C-O-C-S, Paroc. They allegedly replaced Paroc's problems with other insulation material where possible, quote unquote, where possible. And they doubled the insulation that was necessary. Now, here it goes on to say, what this means is anyone's guess. It leaves open the distinct possibility that the substandard insulation has not been removed in its entirety or completely remedied. Yeah, so think about two cabins side by side. If in between the cabin walls is this insulation, these Paroc walls, these Paroc fire-resistant panels that are insufficient, that are not certified anymore. If a fire were to break out and the fire were to spread from one cabin to another, the insurance company will walk away from paying out. The cruise line, their very own insurance company, will not pay out because the cruise line knowingly is operating a cruise ship with paying passengers with they know they have defective fire retardant materials on board the ship. You're not covered for fire. no matter how insignificant the fire is, it's not covered. Think about the ceilings and the floors and the walls of every cabin, below deck for the crew, above deck for passengers. And I'm not just talking about this cruise ship here, that brand new one. I'm talking about the 45 cruise ships, of which I believe the Allure of the Seas, the Oasis of the Seas, the Symphony of the Seas, the Harmony of the Seas, those Oasis class ships that Royal Caribbean has, every one of them is believed to be one of the 45. Can you imagine 7,500 people on board these ships at maximum capacity? One fire, one spark breaks out on that ship 100 miles offshore in the middle of the night. I'm talking about the worst case scenario here. I'm not talking about the happy, let's sing Kumbaya by the campfire, and it happened while in port and the fire department came and put it up. No. I'm talking about we're at 3 a.m. Somebody can't sleep. They go on their balcony. They smoke a cigarette. They're not supposed to. They smoke their cigarette. They throw it out, and it lands on the cabin balcony. 10 cabins down. The ship is 1,300 feet long, and a fire breaks out on the balcony of the Symphony of the Seas at 3 a.m. in pitch darkness, and the fire spreads to 20 cabins within 30 minutes. We got an inferno here. We got ourselves a nightmare. This is crazy. Anyway, to go on with this article, many travel publications which covered the Explorer 1's delivery wrote fluff pieces where MSC talked about the, quote, extraordinary new ship. We have pushed the boundaries of innovation and design to create a ship that embodies our commitment to excellence, unquote. This is the ultimate fluff piece of fluff pieces. But putting the obvious gobbledygook aside for a minute, it remains a mystery exactly what MSC or Explora Journeys or the shipyard Fincantieri did with the non-certified fire resistance panels. How many of the panels were in fact replaced? How much of the ship received double insulation? What criteria, if any, was used to determine whether to rip out the panels or use the faulty panels with additional panels? Did the double panels also fail the first certification tests? Did they even do certification tests? We don't know. And final comment, paragraph. These basic questions remain unanswered, mostly because the product manufacturer / supplier, shipyard, owner operator of the cruise ship, and the crew trade organization all refused to provide basic information. One cruise journal based in Germany wrote about what appears to be a cover-up in an article titled, quote, Explorer 1 Panelgate, many questions arise, manufacturers are silent, unquote. The magazine is called Crucero Magazine. They wrote, quote, 10 days after the publication of an article in the Financial Times about faulty fireproof panels, there are more questions than answers, unquote. After inquiries to the cruise companies, suppliers, classification societies, they remained unanswered. The journal wrote questions about which individual products are problematic, what type of certification test failed, and what the technical reason for the failure of the test are also left unanswered. There are no answers to basic questions about the safety of passengers on now 46 cruise ships, which probably right now are sailing with 150,000 to 200,000 passengers right now, right this second, 200,000 passengers and 80,000 crew. All their lives are at risk unnecessarily because of this absolute screw up of this fire retardant material and the reaction of the cruise lines on how to deal with it. They've done jack squat and are going to do, it looks to me, My opinion, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. They're not even talking about it. Folks, I wonder what the hell's going to happen. All right, there is the story number one. And I don't like these stories. You know I hate doing this. I can't stand it. Now, here's a sad story. I'm sorry I have to give you this sad news. The Carnival Elation cruise ship, I don't have a photo of it, but the Carnival Elation cruise ship had an incident the other day. A man jumped overboard about 95 miles from Melbourne, Florida, into the ocean. No one was recovered. As far as we know, nobody has been saved. The cruise ship turned back when they found out that a passenger reported a companion missing. The cruise line immediately did a check of who's on board, who isn't. I don't know how they do that. They determined one person is not accounted for. They eventually looked at their CCTV, their closed circuit television cameras, and they found that an individual purposely jumped overboard. This wasn't an accident. They passed on the missing person report to the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard arrived at the rough location, and then the cruise line went on its way to finish its cruise. And the Coast Guard, I don't know if they found anything at all. The victim was a 30-year-old male. Here's a little ditty for you, a little bit of info for you. Since 1995, 386 people have fallen overboard from cruise ships and ferries since 1995. So that's, what's that, 28 years? 12, 14 a year, ballpark, one a month. Since 2010, there's been a law on the books passed by Congress that says that cruise lines are supposed to have what they call an automated man overboard system on their ships. Now, what this means is, let me show you a photo here. This is not a person falling over a cruise ship, okay? That is a mannequin. It is a custom designed, a life-size person, doll, mannequin being purposely ejected overboard, okay? I can't tell you the name of the ship. I can't tell you who this is. This is a photo that was produced by a company that produces the infrared system to detect when an object falls over the ship, most likely a person that shouldn't be doing that. And there's an illustration there of the system on the side of the ship that is designed to pick up the falling person and the person in the water. Another version of this system is right here. These, again, are corporate produced systems that try to convince cruise lines and container ship operators and oil tanker people, you should have this for your crew to detect anybody falling over. And this is how they do it. And these are the systems they put in place. So underneath the lifeboats, there's no blind spot. See here on this photo, notice how clean this picture is. There are no lifeboats in the way of watching this person fall over. But on older cruise ships, you have these lifeboats sticking out the sides, and there are all kinds of blind spots. So you can put these monitor systems underneath the lifeboat area and above the lifeboat area to detect whether someone is falling off the ship or not. This was passed by Congress in 2010, 13 years ago. The number one operator of cruise ships in the world is Carnival, the Carnival Corporation. They operate Holland America, Princess Cruises, Cunard, Costa Cruises, and others, Carnival's own brand. Guess how many ships are equipped with the man overboard system on the Carnival Cruise Line after 13 years of law? 0. Not one. Not one Carnival cruise ship has this system. Not one Royal Caribbean. Not one Norwegian. Apparently one MSC cruise ship has it, One, none of the others. Passengers know, those who are desperate enough, they know that if they want to take their own lives, they can do it on a cruise. They need only to wait for the right moment on the promenade deck to jump off, or from their own balcony if they so wish to do so. It is that pathetic. There are multitudes of cruise employees that have mental issues after months and months and months and years of service with cruise lines. There are those who get the Dear John letter, the Dear John email telling them that their husband or wife has left them or whatever they've done, and they feel they have nothing to live for, and they jump off of cruise ships. This is a sad story, and this continues and happens every 3-4 weeks. There's another one. There's another one all around the world. And there are detection systems available to prevent the loss of life, because once they jump in, a whole bunch of them realize they made a terrible mistake and they would really rather not die after all. But now they're not detected. The cruise line doesn't know. The cruise captain doesn't know. It takes hours to do a head count when someone notices someone didn't show up for their shift, or someone didn't show up at dinner, or I can't find my husband, or I can't find my wife, or I can't find my boyfriend. And it's hours and hours of a cruise ship going in the middle of the night, 25 miles an hour, 3 hours down the way. And it'll take 3 hours to come back. That means 6 hours of treading water. It doesn't work that way. And these people don't jump off with life jackets. They don't do that. You have to have a system that is an alarm system that goes off at the bridge instantaneously. The bridge can immediately dial up the view itself. They can find out from what side the ship the person jumped from, how long ago. They have a positioning of the ship at the moment the person hit the water, because the system tells them exactly where the ship was and what the current is from that spot. By the time they turn that ship around and come back, might be 30 minutes, might be an hour, I don't know. When they get back to that spot, they also know that it's a half a mile that direction that person has floated since they landed in the water. They can send their tenders into the water and find these people. That is what we're talking. No one has it. Nobody has it. You're on your own, kids. Don't jump off a cruise ship. Not a good idea. These, again, more safety tips apart from being careful to do push-ups in the middle of the night in the dark. Watch out for mouse traps. All right, now let's continue on. Story is out that started developing last week, Tuesday. It was a story about the cruise ship known as the Carnival Pride. The Carnival Pride, this ship right here. Now, I can't tell you for sure. I'm going to try and tell you for sure right now, but I can tell you that this ship was refurbished not too long ago. Last couple of years. The Carnival Pride was built in 2002 for Carnival. And you will still find a lot of photos of this ship in its original design, where it was covered in just white paint with a red stripe along the side of it. Major refurbishment was done in 2019 to get it to look like this, where they took the ship and put the blue hull paint on it. They also added behind the whale funnels there at the very back there, they added a water park. You can kind of see that from this blurry image. Here's another picture here of a Carnival Pride from the pool deck. And here is the water park I was just telling you about on the Carnival Pride. There, that is a computerized version, artistic version of what they were showing off in 2018, what it was going to look like. So the Carnival Pride cruise ship was at sea, and they developed engine propulsion issues. And the ship had to come into Kiel, Germany. Kiel is right here. This is the Kiel cruise port. There's not a lot of room for a bunch of cruise ships here. This is not known as one of Europe's top-notch ports. for cruise ship embarkation and debarkation. I mean, there are ships come through here, but they're not known for it like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Note on this picture here, the airport is way over here. See my finger? There it is there. Then the canal port there. I'm not sure what the Schwendikai means or these other terms, but you can tell from below here, my finger double up there, this is where cruise liners come in and drop people off. Anyway, this ship came in the other day into Kiel, which, by the way, is a very pretty place. Kiel is a nice little city. Nothing to complain about. But in any event, they came in and they had to cancel their last port of call. The last port of call was Gothenburg, Sweden. And the ship came into Kiel on the very end of their, like the second last day of a 12-day cruise. Over 2,000 passengers on ship for sure. It's the height of the season. It's probably more than that. I think they can handle 2,400 people. The ship was probably full to the rafters. The ship came in with propulsion issues. They inspected to figure out what the problem was. They quickly realized this is not going to take 1 or 2 days to fix. This is a major problem. The ship now had to cancel its next cruise that was supposed to begin in Dover. 9-day cruise. They canceled that one. A lot of the passengers on this ship for the 12-day cruise were going to do the 9-day cruise as a back-to-back. Canceled. That's canceled. The cruise line kept the ship in Kiel, and they began to make arrangements to get people the hell out of there and return them to get them to an airport and fly them to wherever they came from, if they were from Europe somewhere. Get them back to the UK so they can make their flight home from Heathrow or Gatwick back to North America, if that's what they did. There were people who were doing a back-to-back. They stayed on the ship. They were invited to stay on the ship because they didn't know how long it would take. But why don't you stay on the ship and we'll refund you your 9-day cruise. We'll refund you a portion of the cruise we've lost here this last few days of the 12-day cruise. And then there were people who were supposed to be on the 9-day cruise and booked back-to-back for the next cruise, a 12-day cruise. That next cruise has been cut down to a 6-day cruise. So what's happened here since last week? This is Monday, last week, Tuesday, 6 days ago. Carnival figured out the problem on board the Carnival Pride is so bad, so serious. They've got technicians on board, by the way. They've flown people in. They have to cancel the last 2 days of the cruise they were on. They canceled the next 9-day cruise. That's 11 days. And now 6 days of the next cruise. 17 days not sailing. This ship right now is still in Kiel. Last I heard, it's in Kiel being repaired, and they've got it docked in the cargo area. This is why I showed you this photo here. Let me show you this photo again. You notice that canal ports area, where you see airport on the far left and canal ports. That's where the cargo goes as well. There's also industrial areas here. The ship is not where the terminal is. They're not where the terminal is. So what's going on is passengers who are on the ship now are not allowed to get on and get off. You have to stay on the ship and you can't get off the ship. The only people allowed off are those who are catching a charter flight that the Carnival people are trying to arrange out of Kiel or out of somewhere near Kiel. They're busing them to an airport to get them out. Those are the only folks allowed off on one time a day, probably, noon or 9 in the morning. I don't know what. This is a huge nightmare, and this is a serious problem. And I do not know, and no one is able to tell us just how bad off this is, except that 17 days have already been knocked off. And they think they can pull off 6 days of cruising on that one cruise to get that one in. Now, that will take us to the middle of August now, I would think. 6 days ago was the 18th. And you add to that 17 days of losses, did I say? 9 is 11 and 6, 17 days on top of the 18th. We're into early August now, plus 6 days August 10th, at least. What's happening with the ship after that? I don't know. What a mess. The problem here is this, and this is a reality. Every ship, you all know this. If you've been here a while, you know how this works. You follow me enough, you know that cruise ships at any time can break down. I mean, they're mechanical machines. Airlines have problems with planes from time to time. Car rental companies have problems with some of their cars. Buses break down. Reality is this: if you have a cruise ship that was built for your cruise line in 2002, we're talking a 21-year-old ship now. And what they did in 2019, just before COVID hit, they refurbished that ship. But they didn't put in new engines. They didn't rebuild everything. They upgraded. They did a lot of work. I credit Carnival. In 2019, they had the money to spend on that ship, and they did. And their game plan had to be, look, the ship is going to be 20 years old in 3 years. In 2022, it's going to be 20 years old. We got to put some money into it to give it another 10 years. We got to get the last 10 years out of this ship. So when it's 30, we can dump it. So let's get 10 good years out of this $200 million we're pumping into it. The problem that you don't count on is that in 2023, you have a major propulsion issue that shuts it down right now, and you can't do anything. And now you are losing $2 million a day. I mean, think about the money on board here. 2,200 people, $200 a day minimum with tips and gratuities, and maybe $250 a person. I mean, think about the money. Good Lord, we're talking $4 million a day. It's insanity. I could get the numbers wrong here. It's a lot of money being lost right now by the cruise line. And the repair, not insured. There's no way this is an insured fix. We're talking about 22-year-old engines. They're not insured anymore. This is the problem when you try to push to the limit an old ship. But what choice has Carnival got? Carnival is into their bankers for $50 billion. They had to borrow $30 billion to stay alive during pandemic. They have got to run every ship at maximum capacity to pay the bank interest on the loans. This is why the cruise line at 100% capacity cannot make money. They are so indebted to their bankers, they can't make enough to pay the added interest costs, let alone pay down the debt. They're just carrying the debt, interest only right now. That's all they're doing with their debt financing. They're in trouble. All right, next story. Let's move on. I want to show you some wonderful photos that any of you can find on the internet if you took your time to do so. Look at that photo. That is Amsterdam. You are looking at a photo that could be a postcard, could be a Chamber of Commerce kind of a photo. The charm, the quaintness of Amsterdam, the beauty of the canals, the architecture. In the summertime, can you imagine how gorgeous this place is? Look at the flowers hanging off the side of the building. Is this beautiful? Here's another shot. This is, don't mind my forehead here, this is truly a Chamber of Commerce photo to promote Amsterdam. And this is what the cruise lines use to get people to come to Amsterdam and take cruises. You book a cruise. You book a cruise with your favorite travel agent or the cruise line directly, or with a discount service. You are checking out the ports of call on your cruise, and one of the ports of call is the city of Amsterdam. And what photos are you shown? The ones I just showed you. What photo are you not going to get? Let me show you the one you're not getting. This is what you actually are going to be dealing with. If you and another cruise ship are in town with 7,000 passengers getting off today, plus all the tourists that are here now and all the weekenders that come in to get drunk and have a party, this is your scene in Amsterdam. This is not unreasonable. This is not an unreasonable shot of Amsterdam at a certain part of the day during the summer. This is not an exaggeration. Here's another one. This one is maybe a spring or a fall picture. This could be a bunch of university students having a good time. I don't know. This is not an exaggeration of what it's really like. Here's another shot. Those of you who end up with an overnight stay in Amsterdam, here's the red light district, and you've got adult entertainment. You also have coffee shops that offer a certain kind of what we call jazz cigarette. Here's another image here. This is not an uncommon scene in the evenings in certain parts of downtown Amsterdam. This is not, I'm not making this up. Here's, however, a screenshot that, oh my God, has got to give you the willies. Look at this shot from the air. That's got to be a drone shot. Look at this. You want to be there during their equivalent of spring break? You happen to get off the cruise ship when this is going on. You didn't know? Oh my gosh. Here's a shot here of a couple of cruise ships in Amsterdam at the port of call coming in right nearby the train station. This is very close to the actual train station. And here are two ships. And this is not an uncommon view of downtown Amsterdam. Well, the city fathers of Amsterdam, the city council had a vote last week to officially ban all cruise ships, big ocean-going cruise ships, from coming into downtown Amsterdam. And I have to hand it to them. They really have had the city fathers of Amsterdam have been desperately now for 2 years trying to clean it up. They are trying to eliminate what they call locusts. Tourists they deem to be locusts. And who are they claiming are locusts? They are talking about passengers, a high number of passengers that come in from the United Kingdom, from Edinburgh and other ports via ferry across the water to Amsterdam to party for 24, 48 hours. They don't really want the 24-hour tourist that wants to get blitz drunk, higher than a kite, visiting all the brothel areas and just, urinating in the streets and just letting off steam. They don't want cruise ship passengers in downtown Amsterdam either, because they figured out what the Caribbean has figured out. Many countries in the Caribbean, unfortunately for them, have figured out that cruise ship passengers are not what we call big spenders. They don't spend a lot of money on your island. They don't spend a lot of money in downtown Amsterdam. And why should they? You're a cruise ship passenger and you're dropping $250, $300 a night with your port charges, taxes and fees, gratuities, drink package, your room rate, everything else. You flew to the United Kingdom, get to Southampton, get on your ship, or you flew to Hamburg. However you got on the damn ship and however you're getting home from the damn ship, you are dropping some serious money for this vacay. And you're in downtown Amsterdam for what, 4, 6, 8 hours? What are you going to do? Are you going to go and take a 10-hour museum tour? No, you're not going to do that. Why would you take a 6, 8-hour museum tour? Why would you do a $200 excursion for 4 hours? $200 for 4 hours to go see something in Amsterdam. When, you say to yourself, 4 hours? That's $50 an hour I'm paying for this. No, I'm just going to get off the ship. We're going to stretch our legs. We're going to walk around a little bit. And maybe we'll get ourselves a beer at one of their pubs, or we'll go into one of their coffee shops and maybe we can try one of those jazz cigarettes, or wherever we can do this. Wherever. Some of you are bound and determined to make it happen. Look, I'm not blaming the cruise ship passengers at all. I'm not. Cruise ship passengers are a group of people who've paid top dollar to get an experience that they were promised from the cruise line. And the experience you were promised in Amsterdam was this. You were given the impression that you could take a boat tour like that ship right there, that little boat right there, covered and everything. You would be able to take a boat tour like that and see the sights of Amsterdam. You were given the impression that you would be able to see beautiful historical and architectural masterpieces from these 17s and 18s and 1500s and all these way back when, and these beautiful canals and these bridges. You were given this bill of goods. You were not told this would be waiting for you, or this, or that. You were not given that boat tour right down there. Were you told that that was your boat tour? You are disappointed, and the city fathers are disappointed in the operators of the cruise lines and the operators of their own city, because they admit we have Amsterdam people who add to this misery that offer boat tours to hordes of tourists, and it is complete and utter mayhem. The city council has voted to stop cruise ships from coming in. They're going to attempt to build a new port facility out of the downtown area, but this is going to take years. And I don't know how long this ban will last. If the ban is on right now, when it starts, nothing. I got nothing else, but this is what Amsterdam is up against. Don't be mad at Amsterdam for trying to improve the experience. I understand what they're doing. Jen and I were in Amsterdam last year. We spent 5 nights in the Amrath Hotel, a 5-star hotel. Unbeknownst to us, we would be in such a gorgeous place. We had no idea this hotel that we booked would be so luxurious. We were in Old Town Amsterdam, and we couldn't go very far because Jennifer had a bad hip last year. But we did get out a little bit, and we did go to a museum because we were there for 5 days, and we paid 20 euros each to get into the museum. It wasn't a fortune to go and see. We didn't have to pay $200 to go see a museum. We took a cab each direction, so we spent 15, 20 euros for that because Jen can't walk. It's okay. We didn't mind that. We are the tourists they want. They would love us back this year with Jen being mobile, because Jen and I would go see a lot more. That's who they want. They want that kind of tourist. We spent $200 a night, $300 a night at the hotel, whatever it was. I don't remember. Whatever we spent on everything else, we added to the local economy. We are not party animals. We did not go to the red light district, and we did not try jazz cigarettes in downtown Amsterdam. But we had ourselves a wonderful time. We enjoyed the experience very much. And I was able to do my shows from the Amrath Hotel. And we left Amsterdam very happy because we got to see a city we'd always wanted to see, and we were impressed with it. And we now understand why is it our 33-year-old daughter loved Amsterdam a lot. Now we know. But that's her Amsterdam. We saw our Amsterdam. And the city council is trying to say to us, we're not trying to scare you away with all these kids. We're not trying to scare you away with all these hordes of tourists from the cruise ships. We're not trying to scare you away from these madhouse scenes of 1 million people crowding the streets. We want you to come and experience this in a calm, reasonable way. We don't want you to see this. We want you to experience this Amsterdam. And we're going to turn it around to make it like that. That is our plan at City Council. I say, God bless you guys. Way to go. And I don't care if it takes 3 or 4 years, you're going to get the job done. And I say, well done, everyone in Amsterdam. The city council and its citizens. I'm sorry for the businessmen that live off of selling shot glasses with a guy's name on it. I'm sorry that your business is going to suffer dramatically because those kids are not welcome so much anymore. I don't know how the Amsterdam people are going to dissuade college students from coming into town. I don't know how that's going to happen. Whatever their plan is, their plan is. But I know on the cruise ship front, they don't want those 6-hour people in. What they will allow, interestingly enough, is when a riverboat cruise comes into town. And those riverboats come into Amsterdam and they drop off passengers and they pick up passengers. People spend 2-3 days before the beginning of a river cruise. And in many cases, they spend a couple of days after the river cruise in Amsterdam, enjoying the city. The city council is not banning river cruise ships. They are welcoming them with open arms. What is the average age of a passenger from a river cruise ship? 65? Yeah, they're after me. That's what they're after. Just so you know, that's the story. All right. But one more thing. Showing you this photo here about the cruise ships docking. A number of cruise ships that come into Amsterdam do not have what is known as ship to shore power capabilities. They cannot accept the electricity from the shore. I don't even know if Amsterdam has it. And so these cruise ships sit there at that spot all day with their engines on, spewing the exhaust into the air. And if the air is headed for downtown, the whole downtown core of Amsterdam is getting cruise ship exhaust for 8 hours from two ships at the same time. Not what we call very pleasant. So they want to eliminate that too. There's more to just the story than just the people. They want to get rid of the pollution as well. Very interesting story. There you have it. That's the deal as I see it. I think I've covered pretty well everything I wanted to tell you about. I'm just double checking now my photos. I have all these photos today, and I think I've shown them all to you. Yes, indeed, I have. I hope you enjoyed the news from today. I hope I didn't bore you too much with it. Thank you, by the way, for these thumbs ups. We're now at 45 thumbs ups on this show. If you're able to hit the thumbs up button for us, please do so and give this show more momentum with YouTube. I would appreciate it. Jennifer and I are going to leave for Europe in about 4 weeks, and there will be videos coming on this channel of our trip. So look for those as well as Monday nights get-togethers. We'll do the best we can to keep you posted with these shows, and we'll see what's going on. Okay. Thank you all very much for your participation of this channel. I do appreciate it. Let's take a look here. What's going on here? Oh, what a terrible cruise fire, says Foxy. Jason, the world wants to know if Bruce wears tropical shirts when on a cruise. Well, when you see me on a cruise ship, you'll find out. Kirk Brunson, hi, Bruce and TW family. Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel, sponsor member of this channel. How you doing there, buddy? Kirk from the Big Apple is here. I'm at work, and he's now got his promo. I believe that's gone through. Way to go there, Kirk. Donnell, the excess weight is stubbornly staying put for now, Bruce. I must also cut out junk food to slim down. Cutting out booze is just the start. It's just so unfair. I hear you, my friend. It is, but it's not a 100-yard dash. So don't worry about it. You'll be surprised that one day you'll just realize my shirt is looser, my pants are looser, something's happening. It takes a while, but don't worry. Foxy, but speaking of cruises, Bruce, there have in recent days been some interesting P&O cruise ship holiday representations showing some interesting destinations for excursions I might point out. Donnell says, hi there, Kirk. Your new job going well? Cheers to you. Terry Gallant, what is your opinion on booking flights through the cruise line versus booking on your own? I have viewers on this channel, some very, very loyal viewers now for 6 years. I'll be on the air in August. Next month, it'll be 6 years. Who say to me, swear to me up and down, they get the best deals through cruise lines with airfare. They just feel they get the best deal. Now, to be fair to all of you out there and to them, let me just say that in particular, the folks that seem to get the best deals through this airfare cruise arrangement seem to be frequent guests of cruise lines, those who have amassed points by cruising and cruising and cruising and cruising. I have some viewers here that are at the top level of Norwegian, the top level of Royal Caribbean for their loyalty. And so they might be made offers that others not so easily can find or get, or they get much more promotional material sent to them because they are repeat offenders, very much repeat offenders. So it comes and goes. Cruise, let's say travel agents can sometimes put together really good packages for you because they'll contact cruise lines on your behalf and try to find a deal for you. And so sometimes it works out really well. For others, though, depending on how far away from the airport you are, how far away From the cruise port you are, where your ship is going to be, it varies. Some of you can take in America, for example, a Southwest airline flight for $250 round trip and score a deal to Fort Lauderdale. Some of you can score deals into LA that are just unbeatable. And so the cruise line won't even bother offering you a deal. Now, those of you going from America to Europe to catch a river cruise that might leave from Vienna or might leave from Budapest or leaves from wherever, you might need a combination of flights. One flight from near you where you live to a hub, and from that hub to a European hub, and from that hub to the city that you're going to. Cruise lines can sometimes work deals for you that are magical, but you're not talking about the $599 1-week cruise. You're now talking top dollar, and you might be talking higher cabin class to qualify. You might have to take a balcony or a suite to get the deal. So my opinion varies, Terry. I don't have a simple answer to this very complex question. Foxy, it's good to see you, Kirk. Work hard, but not too hard, please. Sharon, Bruce, can you see Kevin's response? I have not seen it either. No, I have not seen any response on there whatsoever. So somehow something got headed off at the pass. The only message I have is this one from Kevin, where he said it's only 90 degrees today. I didn't get any other, no other message has found its way through. Just saying. Okay. Kirk Brunson, hi there, Foxy. A supervisor's job is never done. Yes, sir. Sharon, 33 thumbs ups, 67 to go, Bruce. Kirk Brunson, Donnell, more work, but it's all good, buddy. It's all good. Foxy, interesting. Well, I certainly do hope it goes well for you, Kirk Brunson. Steve Bartley, number 35, thumbs up. Gas 379, temperature 95 in Greeley, Colorado. Terry Gallant, what is your opinion on booking airfare through the cruise line? Talked about that. Sharon, 41 thumbs ups. The Tom Seaver number, right on. Foxy says, a wonderful Amsterdam photograph indeed, Bruce. Fantastic. Though I have seen Amsterdam photographs before, they are almost certainly worth looking at, I must say. Tim Bowman, bye for now. It's time for dinner. Enjoy it. Your stay on the Nerdette. Foxy, okay, goodbye, Tim. Have a nice meal, and it was certainly a pleasure having you here indeed. Louise is in the house. Hi, Bruce. One time there's soot all over the back deck. Maybe you could talk about that one day. Oh, yes, the back deck of some of these ships where they use that really cheap fuel, and the soot just goes up and comes straight back down, lands on the back of the ship. Not pretty. Donnell, a bon appetit, Tim. Enjoy the sights of Alaska. Larry Blake, I'm number 46, Bruce. You were almost at the halfway mark of your 100 thumbs up meter. Donnell, well, Bruce, I enjoyed the show yet again tonight. Have a good week, everybody. Thanks, my friend. You have a great week, too. We'll talk to you next week, buddy. Larry Blake, I hope to. Louise, oops, I had an error in my message. I was rushing. It's okay, Louise. No problem at all. Foxy says, I think I was linked like number 23 today on the thumbs up meter. Now there's about 48 now. It's unbelievable. Sharon says, Kevin can make a deal, especially if someone is buying more than one book. Plus, he can mail autographed books if anyone is interested in getting autographed books. Pete Hoskins, thanks, Bruce. Have a good week. Diane Flowers, I am late, number 48. What I would recommend, Sharon and everyone else, Kevin, what I would recommend you do is send me an email telling me in an email what you can do, as if you're responding to a viewer. Okay, so just send me an email. Say, Bruce, send this out to any viewer that wants to know how to get books, autographed books, that kind of thing. Any of you viewers out there who would like to get a series of books from Kevin, you want some autographed books, you want to get the best deal, send me a private email, okay? My email address is right here. It's right there, brucefarmer@hotmail.com. Just send me a private email and just say, Bruce, would you mind forwarding a message to me from Kevin? I would like to order some books from him. Kevin, you send me an email. I will forward it on to everyone out there, and then they can contact you directly, and you can take good care of these people. If that sounds okay to you, and it sounds okay to all the rest of you, I'd be happy to be the middleman on that one. No problem at all. Thank you, everybody. Pete says, thanks, Bruce. Have a good week. Diane, I am number 48. Terry, the Pride is back in service. July 21st cruise was departing today. Foxy, sorry about the link word. I meant to say like. It's okay. So, Sharon, I think the problem is that with posts with Kevin's website were blocked. Sharon, he'll send you that, Bruce. Thank you very much. Louise, I love Mondays because I get to hear and see your show. Good night. Thank you, Louise, so much. Jason Kimmons, never expect the porters to give you change, so bring smaller bills if you're going to tip anybody. Sharon, thank you, Bruce. And Louise, I want books from Kevin too. Sharon, 51 thumbs ups, more than halfway there. We're over halfway to 100 thumbs ups on this show because of you wonderful people out there. Thank you. If you're watching on the rerun, hit that thumbs up button. We'll get 100 thumbs ups. We do every week. It's incredible. Every week we break the 100 thumbs up barrier. There's only 45 people watching me right now. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I thank you. If you want a book from Kevin Chapman, you want one, all of them, you want some autographed, you want them all autographed, send me an email. Say, Bruce, please send me an email from Kevin, how to buy from him directly. Kevin is going to send me an email. I will forward his email on to you, and you can now deal directly with the man himself, the author himself. What kind of a deal? You think that some of these other authors in the world would do that through here for you? You think that you're going to get some of the top authors on the planet? No. But this author will do that. You got to love that. When this author's books become major motion pictures, you are going to be sitting there watching that movie and saying to your friends, I have the actual books that he wrote, that he autographed to me through that channel, TWB. I'll never forget, what's his name? That guy without the hair. I'll never forget his name. TWB. I can't remember the name of the channel. Traveling with Somebody. I'll never forget that guy. Stephen Butler. Thanks, Bruce and Jen. Sharon, Kevin Chapman. That's right. Sharon, look that up to contact the author directly. Jason, have a great week as always. Thank you for the great content. You could probably do something like KevinGChapman.com. That might get you to what you need to get to as well. Jason, have a great weekend as always. Thank you for the great content, Sharon. I'm hoping they'll become a Netflix series. Wouldn't that be great? We can all sit back and say we were fans of his way before that Netflix deal came along. That's right. We know somebody famous, and they know us. How about that? Oh boy, Foxy, if I dare, might ask Bruce, have you thought about visiting Brighton in the future? I have not thought of visiting Brighton in the future. I have not. I have to be honest. We've got a very scheduled trip coming up here through the UK, and we are scrambling to go from London to Dortmund in one day by rail. We are busy. We are going to be flying. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, there, Bruce. Bruce, this is definitely indeed a brilliant live stream. I must say, well, thank you, Foxy313. I appreciate that. Jason, who would play Bruce in the movie? By the way, who would do that? You know, who can we get? Can we get Brad Pitt maybe? To play me in the movie, Tom Hanks, Michael Keaton. How about Michael Keaton? Michael Keaton could play me. He'd have to bulk up a little bit, put some fat patches on his skin, look a little thicker. But Batman, he's Batman. He could do it because I'm Batman. That'd be pretty cool. You guys let Michael know. You let Mr. Keaton know that, hey, I think there's a part for you. There's a part in a movie that might be made. You got to watch TWB to see you just study that character right there. You're going to be playing him one day. And Oscars are coming your way. Oh my God. Foxy, could Ron Perlman play Bruce in a movie? Captain's table. Bruce, in your expertise, will travel insurance cover all the expenses the Carnival Pride passengers suffered? Boy, I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. That is a very good. You know what? The answer to that probably, there isn't single, but a partial answer. It depends on who you used for the insurance, right? If you use the cruise line and their insurance company, between the refund numbers and some compensation, maybe there's something there. If you used like the American Automobile Association travel insurance, or in Canada, in Calgary, we call it the Alberta Automobile Association, the AAA. If you used your own home insurance, if you have home insurance and you bought travel insurance as a rider, there could be so many deductions that takes a lot of the sting out of it, or a lot of the benefit out of it. Again, this is not a straightforward. I can't give you a straightforward answer. That's a darn good question right there, Foxy. How about Brian Blessed? Could Brian Blessed play? Who the heck is that? Foxy. Maybe Harrison Ford could play. He's 80. I'm 67. But then again, the look. He's a good looking guy. I'd go with that guy. Louise Lanthier, will you take Jen to watch Barbie? I don't think so. No. I have a suspicion that Jen is going to go and watch Barbie, and then Jen will take Jen Jr. They will go and watch Barbie. If anyone does it, it will be Jen and her daughter. And I won't have to. Thank you very much. I won't have to. And they can tell me all about it. You tell me all about the movie. I'm thrilled. Someday it'll be on Netflix or whatever, and I might catch a glimpse of it. I might not. It doesn't necessarily click with me on all cylinders, if you know what I'm saying. Although the actress that plays Barbie is pretty gorgeous. Did you see her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? The movie that she made with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Did you see that movie? She was pretty cool in that one too. Very good. But she wasn't Barbie in that movie. Not necessarily Barbie. She was a different version of Barbie in that movie, actually. Interesting stuff. Anyway, there you go. Folks, I got to say thank you again for being here today with this group of folks being with me today. 52 thumbs ups have come through here. You guys are amazing. And I thank you so much for your support. Margot Robbie, yes, fantastic. She's amazing in I, Tonya as well, apparently. Foxy says, Brian Blessed is, by the way, Bruce, is an English actor. Just to say who's known for Flash Gordon and is famous like Gordon's Alive. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Well, I wonder if the guy that plays Iron Man could play me. You know that guy, Robert Downey Jr. Maybe Robert Downey Jr. can. He's got white hair now. They can make him look like me a lot. Gotta put that cap on there though. I guess anybody with hair, it's not going to work. I don't know. I, Tonya, Wolf of Wall Street. She was in that movie. Mermaid C says, hi, Foxy. Well, Bruce, the pleasure was certainly all ours indeed. I was happy to partake in your live stream again. Well, thank you, Foxy. Stephen Butler, she was fantastic in Babylon with Brad Pitt and others. Louise, she's from Australia. Yes. Not bad looking. Got it kind of going on. And more power to her. Congratulations. She is at the height of her career, and she deserves it. She deserves all the kudos. And anyone else out there, all the actors out there who worked hard are now, everyone's on strike, so it's going to be tough times for a while. Hopefully things will work out and things will get back to normal. Folks, I will see you next Monday. How about that? Let's make a date. 7 o'clock Eastern time for all of you who are sponsor members or going to become sponsor members. If you become a sponsor member this week, you can join me next Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern time for the sponsor member hangout show. 7 till 8 o'clock Eastern every Monday. And if you're one of my regular viewers, of which there are a few of you here, join me next Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Love to have you here for cruise ship and travel news. We'll try to update you on what's going on out there in the travel world and what's happening in our world and anything else. We'll try to figure it out together. I thank you all so much for your being with me. Did you see Royal Caribbean's new ship, the Utopia? Not yet. Have a great night, says Sharon. Thank you, Sharon, very much. Everyone take good care of yourselves. Make sure you give someone you love an extra long hug the next time you see them. You never know it's the last time. And stay cool out there. We're going to cool down the next few days, so we're very happy here. We said hello and goodbye to our 93-degree high temperature. We're going to say hi to 76 for the high tomorrow. We're delighted here in Calgary. You should come and see us sometime. It's kind of nice. Thank you all so very much. Robert, you take care, buddy. Mermaid Sea. Would you consider taking a cruise when you're 100 years of age, Bruce? You got to ask me that question when I'm 99. To be fair, I can't answer it any closer than that. But would you like it if Ron Perlman played you in a movie? Oh boy, I don't. I think I'd like it if anybody played me in a movie. I think I'd be flattered. I mean, heck, Danny DeVito could play a movie, and I'd be thrilled. Danny's a good actor. Anyway, folks, have a great week. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys take care of yourselves. We'll see you next Monday. And this is Bruce and Jennifer from Calgary saying, see you next Monday. You guys take care. Bye for now.